Welcome to Model Connection. I am your host, Eric Harrell. Please like, follow, or subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. Follow us on social media at Model Connection Podcast. I would like to welcome my guest tonight. She drove all the way down here from Clarksville. I am so proud to have her here. Her name is Makayla Lewis. How are you doing tonight?
Hello, hello. I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. I'm glad you made this long trip down here from Clarksville. How was it?
It was a good drive, It was a little bit of traffic. We know how Nashville can get. We had
It is
fires
never good coming
almost.
through Nashville, okay? Never good.
It's all right.
Okay. Okay. Well, tell me about yourself.
Well, I am a person who likes to do diverse activities. So when I first got into modeling, it was something that was on a whim at first. I saw one of my friends doing it, and I was like, she's really beautiful. I want to be beautiful too. So I like to try to dive in and see how I can cultivate that.
Okay. And how long have you been modeling?
About 6 months right now.
6 months. Wow. Okay. What did you do before? What did what did you do before modeling?
I actually was a nurse. I used to work with in-home care. I used to do a lot of things. I'm a Renaissance woman at it.
Wow. And a nurse turned model. Wow. Great.
I
Great.
know.
Okay. So how would you categorize your brand of modeling?
I would say it is diverse, just open. I like to try new things. I like to push the bounds of everything. I want to try stuff that people are afraid to. I really want to try to be a daredevil.
A,
Uh,
dare, a daredevil.
mhm.
Okay, that's interesting. So a daredevil meaning try things outside of the box, try some
Let's
things
push
no
every.
one's ever done,
Yeah,
push
we're
the
gonna.
envelope.
Yeah, pushing everybody's comfort levels. I want to see if I can really handle it. Do the risky, do the out over the top, everything.
Okay, great. Okay, now following along that line, risky daredevil outside the box. What interests you about that brand of modeling? What really gets you? Yeah, that's what I want to try. That's what I want to do. What is it that does that for you? What has the it factor for you?
I'd say it was something like just creativeness, the expression, like to be able to create and really demonstrate something for myself. Like on camera, you're a whole nother person. You really do tap into a whole nother person for yourself. And for me, it brings out my creative side. I try to do things that I never thought to do before. And one of the photos that we'll talk about later, it really pushed one of the bounds. I was actually really excited to do it, and it really came out well.
Wow, great. So you said you got into modeling on a whim, or just
Yeah, okay. So there was
tell me
this
about this. Yeah.
there was a girl and her name is Deja Cobb and she is so beautiful and I saw her like model one of these days and I was like she can do it, I can do it. And I'm like on a whole other opposite spectrum than she is. She's really like that whole fashion model. Like she is that it girl, you know what I mean?
hmm
And me, I'm like the tomboy of the whole friend group. And I was like, let's do it. And there's other people like me who can get out there in front of the camera too. So let's just showcase what we can do. And I
Sure,
got it.
sure. Okay, so modeling. Did you have any inhibitions when you first started, or did you say, "Okay, I'm going to do this. I've got the confidence behind me. I'm going to do this." Or
You
was it just
know?
okay? What am I doing here? Doing what am I doing this? I don't know.
You know how it all started? At first, in 2017 was when I first started modeling. I had got a call from John Casablanca for an audition,
Okay.
and I was shivering in my boots. I didn't even know what to expect. So when I went to the audition, he said, "Show me what your best face is." And I said, "Face? What do you mean?" And we just started taking pictures. I told him, "I am a whole goofball. I do not know anything about nothing of atom of modeling." And he was like, "Just be yourself." And we
Right.
we did this black and white scheme like photo shoot.
hmm
And he said, "You just have this niche. Like if you nobody tells you the direction, you just go for it. You're really good behind like in front of the camera." And I said, "I like how that sounds." I don't know what it means, but I like how it sounds. So I just went with it.
Okay. Going back to the outside the box, pushing the envelope.
Mm.
There are many professional terms: modeling, commercial, editorial, um, print, a glamour. What do you feel suits you best?
All of it.
All of it.
I feel like if I were to put my mind to it, I could do it all. I literally, like, I don't know, it's just a creative thing for me. Like, if I feel like I can really focus on a topic,
Yes.
I'm really gonna wanna bring it out. I'm gonna bring out, push every type of bounds. We're gonna try to do this. I have a project that I wanted to do, and it's actually coming up soon, and I'm very excited. I took one of my favorite childhood movies,
Hmm.
and I wanna recreate it. I'm excited.
Wow.
So,
Great.
and you never believe it. You never believe what the topic is. Guess what the concept is? You never think of it.
Probably not. uh,
Do you remember the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
yes, I do.
A fabulous movie, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm about to recreate it. I will be recreating that through photo with my photographer, Roland Reed. Yes. I got
Wow.
a new adventure. I'm trying new things. Like, I want to do a serious take on things, really,
Yes.
really cultivate and relate to some people who have asked about modeling before.
Hmm.
There's a
Right.
lot of people who just really want to try it and they just don't know if they can make it. And I want to be that person who says, you can. You really can.
A lot of photographers love what you just said. They really, really do. Um, I've seen you post images that I like. What gives you your inspiration?
Oh man, I'd say Lady Gaga because she was out there. She
Yes,
came,
she
she
was.
hit the scene, and you wouldn't have thought that that would have made headlines. As it was you would think people would laugh, but she made it an art. She made it something that people can adapt to, somebody can relate, and
Hmm.
that's how I want to do my photography as well. I might look wild, but there's a purpose behind it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what she did, and she was able to really craft her art like that. So that's what I want to do.
A method to the madness, as they say, huh?
Absolutely. You can be a mad hatter at times.
Great, great. Um, so you are a young lady,
This.
shall I say, early 20s, okay?
Mhm.
What do you want your modeling to do for you?
I wanted to tell a story. I want for the next person who tries to model to not be afraid to step into it and actually be happy with it. At first when I started modeling, I was like, whose attention am I trying to get like grab? Like
Hmm.
who do I want to actually view and relate to me? And then there was this girl, and she was like, "You're a model and you have tattoos. You right, and I love them. I'm gonna flaunt them." And she was like, "A lot of people don't get that nerve and that courage to do it." And I like how she said that. If there's nobody that can tell you, I'll be the first. You have to have courage, have self discipline, have really good self motivation for yourself. I did not have it at first. And as I got more comfortable with my own self, able to express any way I wanted to, I want everybody to know when you come in, you don't have to be a certain type of model. You don't have to, all that stuff we see on movies. You can be yourself and you can get success out of it.
Exactly right. I think you just answered my next question, but I'm going to ask you anyhow.
All right.
What has modeling taught you about yourself?
Self esteem. And you,
See?
self esteem. I used to look at myself and be like, man, I kind of look manly. I got a lot of muscles here and that's not attractive. But in the modeling industry, that shows strength, it shows confidence. You're able to really demonstrate and put forth your efforts, and everybody sees that. So I
Hmm.
would say modeling really did make me more confident in myself. Like, I'm okay with how I look.
Hmm.
There's other people who are not. And I'm like, hey, if we were all to eat the same stuff, work out the same, we still won't look the same.
Exactly right. I try eating that, and okay, I'm still.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah.
And there was this girl, she was like, "Don't you have to do like a strict diet?" Girl, I eat pizza every day. I like to eat wings. A salad is good, but we can eat.
Oh yes, we can eat.
there's
We
there
gotta eat.
there's
Okay.
different types of models, and that's what I want my message to be. You can be any type of model and still have the same success as those that you thought you couldn't even compare to.
Exactly right. There are, I would guess, a number of young ladies out there, young men also, that they look in magazines and they're like, okay, I've got to look like this in order to
Right.
be a model. Really? What do you have to say to them about that? Do they have to be the perfect size, the
Everybody's
perfect
not Kylie
height?
Jenner. Everybody's not Kim Kardashian. Everybody is completely different. Everybody's beautiful in their own skin. And as long as you feel like you are beautiful to yourself, when you get in front of that camera, it's going to show.
Amen.
It's going to show.
Amen.
You don't have to change yourself to be a model. If there's anything you got to change, that's only because you wanted to. You don't have to change at all. Not at all.
On the photographer side, how do you choose the photographers you work with? Is it basically you propose a concept to them, they propose a concept to you, you judge their photos they show online? What criteria do you use to decide, okay, I think on this project, I want to work with this photographer, and on this project, I want to work with that photographer? How do you choose who to work with?
I'd say I look at their profiles. I do my research on that photographer. Like I want to see what their methods of how they take pictures. I want to know how they bring together a concept. Do they talk with you? Do they help you? Do they help guide you? There's um there's a philosophy term that I was trying to use and I cannot think of it. But no, seriously, you just research, and when I talk to my photographers, I like to give them my idea, give them my turn on of events for it. Like give them an idea of what I want to do and see if they're able to really capture it
Hmm.
and see if they're able to add to it. So like I said with the new event I have coming up, the Roger Rabbit, right? I had brought it to one of my photographers and I was like, I really want to do a sepia type theme. I want to make it old time feeling,
Hmm.
make it really like, let's step back into time. And he was like, I got the props. We can do it like this. I know exactly how to maneuver you. I can help you. I like that. When you're able to help guide me and we can learn together to make success, I think that's the biggest thing. So just do your research and make sure if you're on task with someone, you always agree. There's compromise that can happen, but make sure that you get your point because it's you who's the artwork.
Right. Concept and how you uh, propose your concept so you both are on the same page
Mhm.
is totally important.
Absolutely.
You've got to, in some cases, have examples. This is what I want to try and recreate. This is what I want to shoot. This is the look that I want. You said the sepia or the black and white. Black and white looks better when you're trying to recreate something from, I'll say, the 40s to 50s.
Absolutely.
Color just does not do it. It's got to be sepia and black and white, okay?
I feel like if I'm able to tell you what my vision is and you're able to hear my vision and we can work together to make it a reality, that's a big factor cuz you want to have your vision come to life as well. You know how you want to position the camera, you know where the angle is that you want to capture. And I know how I want it to be viewed. I know what I wanted to convey. Is so when we come together and we're able to get that all and it's like, all right, we got magic here. That's the magic part. That's the best part about it.
Yes, it is. Um, on a side note, the photographers that you work with,
Mhm.
are they new photographers? Are they photographers that have been in business a while?
I work with a mixture of them. I have new photographers who want to try new things, and I have some that I already have experience. One of the I'd say Jordy Harris, he's a very well known, he's a military photographer. He's a urban photographer. Roland Reed, he has a publishing magazine company. He does dramatics, the theatricals, you know. And then I have Shakori Osborne. He's new. He tries to do like the lifestyle photos, you know what I mean? So I like to work with different ones so I can get like a landslide. I want to see everything all at once. To just dabble here and there so I know how I want to create magic.
Everybody's got their specialty.
Right, everyone like you
Okay.
would go to like a doctor for one thing. You're not going to go to a specialist for something that a pharmacy can do and stuff like that.
Right,
So
right,
that's kind of how I would look at the photographer. It's like one person I know for sure I can do theatrics and they're going to be able to really captivate it, you know. I know someone if I want to do like a headshot, I know where to go,
right,
stuff like that. You just
right,
have to know your different niches. Like you don't want to put all your apples in one basket when you can diversify it.
right. Exactly right. Okay. Um, You've been in this industry such a short time. Has there been anyone that you have looked up to as like, okay, I like how this model does this. I like how this model does that. I want to pattern myself after this. Or is it all Michaela? I'm going to do it my way, okay?
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, when I get into like I'm in a role and I'm ready to like I'm in front of the camera, sometimes that's all me. Sometimes it's all me. But then I'd be lying if I say I don't look at all the females that I work with and have experience with. Like I look up to almost everybody I work with because I learn something different.
Hmm.
I learned something from Deja. She tells me it's all about how you work your face. You got to make sure your face is good. You want to make sure you're not always frowning, like smile. And then I work with this female named Mia, and she knows how to contort her body to make it look like you are elongated. Like you can be the most flexible out there. Like I learned from everyone. There's a runway girl, Sabrina, and she's so amazing. Like she looks like Beyonce. Like
Okay.
I can learn from anyone, and I try to grab any piece that I can learn from them and I try to put it into my own way. I look up to everybody.
Are the images that you find on social media images you can learn from or images that you can incorporate into your own brand? Or
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm the type of person on social media, if I think that somebody is really beautiful, I'm going to tell them. I'm not going to hide it. Like, give me some tips, help me out. I want to look like you. Let's go to the gym together. Let's do something. I like to do stuff like that. Like, on social media like Instagram, I see beautiful females all the time. They're just naturally beautiful. I'm like, how the heck did you get like this? Like, what are you doing that I'm not doing? And then I'm like, they probably just wake up out of the bed and they're like, I don't even have. I'm ashy right now. You're saying I'm beautiful. I used to be intimidated, but the more I got comfortable with myself, like I said, you have to have self confidence. You have to have a good self esteem. You can't let what someone else looks like bother what you look like because everybody doesn't look the same.
were you impressed and impressionable young lady growing up?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like, I would be impressed, but then at the same time, I would know I can't do certain things. Like, you just have to know your boundaries.
Okay. In looking at I know you bound to, looking at Vogue magazines or things online, the impression that it gave you back in your early years, is it anything like what you know today as modeling?
I would say how I thought modeling used to be.
Yes.
Oh man, I used to think they were so strict. Like you had to literally buy a strict regimen. Like if you weren't by that regimen, you would never make it. I used to think that all the time. Like you had to be this petite. You had to have this certain look. I used to think that, and that's why I used to be really down on myself. Like I really used to beat myself up. Like you don't look like this. Stop trying to make yourself look like this. And then as I am working into the modeling industry, I realized, hey, this is me. If you can't handle how I am now, you don't deserve for me to try to make your efforts better. I told my friend the other day, I said, this modeling jazz, I don't even know what I'm doing. I really don't. I'm like Peter Griffin. I'm using about to fly in my seat right now. But it seems to be working. Like I'm a very focused person. I have really good drive. With my modeling agency that I work with now, Jordy Angels, he that photographer Jordy, he really helped me captivate that. He was like, "Look, everybody's different. Whatever is good for you, run with it. For me, I am open. You know what I mean? I am a very outspoken person. If I have
Hmm.
something to say, I'm going to say it. If I got a question, there's no dumb question. The only dumb question is not asking.
Right. I've heard that myself.
So, hey, I like to try new things. So I'm going to ask questions and we're going to work together to get it along. I don't feel like there should be a set rule of what kind of modeling is.
A young lady walking up to you at a trade fair. Michaela, Miss Lewis, how do I get started? Give me some advice. Where do I go? What do I do? What did you tell her?
I'm telling her the
And
same.
point her. in the right direction.
In the right direction. I say do your research. You want a model, find an agency, go to an audition, found somebody who's scouting for models and really like pay attention to what they're doing, see how they work with other people, get information from other people who have worked with them. Be cautious that there are some people who pose that they're photographers and they're really not. They're really predators. Really be stern about who you work with. Don't work with just anybody. Like I said, you have to make sure you have all your bases covered. Be safe, be cautious. If you want to be a model, we are in the day and age, the generation, Instagram is live, TikTok is awake. Like, all you got to do is point your camera, look at that, and be confident.
Hmm.
Any and everybody can be a model. I try to tell all my friends, hey, you know me more than I know about this modeling. We are just doing it for fun. If it takes off, it takes off, but don't hinder yourself just because one thing didn't work. Always try something else, you know?
Right. And there are so many people out there that I will say have got the wrong intentions
Hmm.
regarding young ladies. You say just do your research, ask questions of anyone in the business. Just do your research.
Absolutely, because listen, like, you never trust anybody's own work but your own. Never trust anybody's work but yourself. That's the rule of psychology. You don't trust anything that you didn't research yourself because anybody can tell you anything.
A model has got to have what I consider a thick skin, okay?
Absolutely. Oh my God. Judgment is everywhere. Judgment is everywhere. If you don't know how to let stuff roll off the back and you just go about your day, hey, hey, it's time for you to learn. Look in that mirror and say, I am the boss. I am the boss. It is about me. They are wanting to work with me. If I didn't reach out and they reached out, whoever, you just have to know, look, it's serious, but don't take it too serious.
Right. There are so many models that I feel they are president of their own mutual admiration society.
Hmm.
Anyone that does not view the photographs the way they do, they kind of, I would say they brush them off to the side. They're not included in their circle, no. And you've got to realize, as I had mentioned in the earlier episodes, not everyone is going to like your photographs,
Exactly.
and not everyone is going to hate your photographs.
Ex-
Okay, you've got to accept that we all have our own a different taste,
mhm.
our different styles, and your style may not exactly fit my taste. If I make a comment about it, don't be offended, okay?
Absolutely.
Now I've been saying, well, you don't have to comment. I'm like, well,
I
you didn't
mean,
have to post the image,
right?
okay?
It's in my. If I'm able to see it, you must have wanted somebody to comment.
Right. If you don't want somebody to comment, don't post it, okay?
Mhm. Exactly.
And now how you view your image is not the same way that anyone else views it, because we may see something that you're blind to see.
You know, my sister tells me this all the time. Hey, if you're not comfortable to look at yourself and go out in public with whatever it is that you want because of somebody else, that's on you. You're the one who paid for it. I mean, it's your clothes, right?
Exactly
You have
right.
like you have to get in your skin. You're the one who is walking through life. It's just you. This is your life. This is all.
Exactly right.
You know what I mean? You came in this world, make a statement. You might as well.
Modeling, in my opinion, has changed a lot
Yes.
from the print aspect to the digital age.
Hmm.
In your mind, how has it changed? Has a digital made photography better? Has it made everybody a photographer?
Oh yeah, everybody's a photographer. Anybody who has a smartphone, a regular camera phone, or just the Polaroid camera, everybody thinks that they're a photographer. And which in everybody's mindset, and they're not wrong. Anybody can be a photographer. Now, do you want to be a professional one? Because now, when you take it into professionalism, rather than just I'm just playing around with my friends, that's different. Because now you actually have to pay attention to what you're taking pictures of. You don't want to just take a picture of anything. I mean, yes, everything can be art, but when you want to craft something, you want to really focus in on that craft.
Okay. Okay. And there are people that I know I'm gonna get blasted for this, but hey, go ahead.
Go for it.
I'm a big boy. I can take it. I've always commented that yeah, you can take a picture, but then you're gonna do this to it in Photoshop or Lightroom. People have said, well, if I get the image just halfway right in the camera, I'll fix it in Photoshop. Okay. I say get it right in the camera to start with, so you don't have to spend hours editing afterwards. Okay.
Exactly.
And many photographers, they don't care about that.
I've run into those problems a lot too. Sometimes I have to remind my photographers, hey, it's okay to adjust the camera now before we even start. Really take a couple practice shots, do something just so you can get it focused. Because there's nothing worse than taking a picture that you thought you nailed it.
Hmm.
You thought you had the perfect angle, and then when you finally get the playback, it's blurry. You're not even centered correctly. You're all at a different angle. It just doesn't look right. So to avoid it, like you said, just start off with adjustments. It's okay as long as you let your model know I'm getting the camera right. Give me a few seconds. I'm gonna do a little test run. I feel like it's gonna be okay because nobody's gonna say not you can't do it.
Right, right.
There's not, and I don't know anybody who's gonna say, "Hey, don't do that. You should already came prepared." No, we're human. We are
Yeah.
human.
And now let me take the lens cap off the camera. Now we'll get started
Right. Hey, get yourself prepared. That's why we got time. We got startup time. We have
now.
production time. It's okay. I rather we take a slow start
Right.
rather than speed into things and have more mistakes than we're
Right.
ready to prepare.
Now let's get down to the nitty gritty
Uh
here.
oh.
What are what are these images that we are now looking at?
So I'd say this picture right here, this is a special picture to me. This is my real personality. This is who I am as a person. The tomboy who thought to be a model. This was the very one of my very first photo shoots with the modeling group, Jordy Angels, like I mentioned.
Okay.
He said to just be yourself. I want to see who you are. Let's see if I can convey that. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down. We're not gonna stand. It's hot. One, I didn't even have my hair done. I just did that as a quick thing, threw some aviators on. I was like, hey, take me as I am. And we got this beautiful smile and everything. I just love it because it really shows my personality.
Okay. Is that image taken at a boat dock
We
or?
were at the marina in
Uh
Clarksville. Yes, we were out there by the river.
huh. Great. Yes. Okay. I like the lighting. Um, Sharp focus on that. Yes, it's a very good image. Yeah.
This one right here. Now, this is a fashion model right here. I don't know.
Fashion.
I didn't even know who I was. Look, we had did a collaboration with the model plugin, and she said, "I want to see how fierce y'all can get. Show me your fierce face." So I embodied Tyra Banks. I don't know if you can notice it, but I was like, "We're gonna walk. I want you to take a picture of me. Just." Let me come in front of the camera. And this beauty right here was awakened. I just walked into stardom in this picture.
Okay. And this image was taken where?
In Nashville. It was over by Broadway, I believe. I can't remember the exact
Okay.
location.
And the photographer was
Jordy Harris.
Jordy Harris. Okay. Great. Great. I
This
like
is
this image. I like this image.
Well,
Wow.
thank you. This is a birthday image. This was my birthday shoot. I turned 24. Shakori Osborne took this picture. It was magnificent. For me in this picture, I got my hair done by my sister. She did the purple. It stands for Bernadine. Brave as the bear. I tried to name different hair colors because I try new ideas. So I was like, you know what? Bernadine's gonna come out, and I was like, let's just be fierce. We're gonna dominate. I'm walking into a new year. This is my year, Jordan year. This is my Kobe year. Excuse me. 24. I'm ready to take on some new experiences. I'm about to see if I can really challenge my modeling career.
Wow, I like that. And that was taken where?
This was on the Greenway in Clarksville.
And you're wearing a, a
I,
long black gown.
hmm I was like, I
Okay,
couldn't
is
tell
it
you
the
this.
gown, dress?
So look, that's a throwback dress right there. We're going to call it a dress because that's not. It's a gown, but it's a dress.
Okay.
I don't know the specific names. See, I'm not that. I'm not that type of model. I'm not that type of model. You know. It
I'd
was a.
like. Here's one that. Okay, now explain this one to me now. Okay, explain this.
So, Roland Reed. Let me tell you about my man, Roland Reed. That is
Okay.
a fabulous photographer. He was like, let's do something. It's Halloween. I want to see how creative y'all can get. Everybody that was in the modeling group, they were sexy. I'm not gonna lie. The girls were sexy. I didn't want to be sexy. like like I wanted to be, but I was like, it's Halloween. I'm kind of trying to be a little, let's be out there. So I took it out. We did a day and night thing for this. This is the demonic clown. At night, as she preys upon the souls, she captures everyone. I literally my Deja Cobb. Deja Cobb, that woman right there. Okay, she did the hair, the makeup. She did the liquid latex for the star. Let me tell you, I did the Marilyn Manson background theme song, "Sweet Dreams," and I started laughing when we were taking these pictures. And he said, "You really?" I was scared. Roland was like, "I was kind of scared. You kind of got really into it." Hey, I'm not gonna be sexy in this one. I'm ready to scare somebody.
Wow. I mean, those images. I mean, that showed your
Versatility.
versatility. Okay, I mean, you
Absolutely.
went from the clown shot there that uh,
Hey,
the Mrs. Clown from outer space shot there to what I feel is a real classy shot on the parkway.
hmm
I love that image. I mean, it's just perfect for
thank
me.
you.
Um, it showed it shows your versatility of what you can do.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Tyra Banks earlier.
hmm
That show, America's Next Top Model, has it taught you anything about the industry, about the craft? I mean, how?
Absolutely. So when I was a kid, I I was this tall as a child.
Okay.
I've been this height for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, 5'8", that's 7. That's a lot. No, but I used to watch the show with my sister all the time. I used to walk around in my mom's high heels around the house. I used to want it to be Tyra Banks. Like, I got my walk right. I got the strut. I was like, ooh. The only thing I did not like about the show, you're not gonna cut my hair.
Bingo.
You're not gonna cut my hair. If we're gonna think about that, I'll put a wig on.
Bingo. Right. Right.
No, but I would say I learned the techniques. You have to know how to be a professional. Being a model is fun. It's all fun and games until it's time for business. You want to make sure your look is correct. You want to make sure that where you're going is safe because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not safe in, you know? And it showed that you have to be on time. You have to have a timely manner. You have to be focused, very organized. And like I said with the research and stuff, it takes a lot to be a model because you cannot I just can't stress it enough. You have to protect yourself because there are going to be people that are going to come at you from all types of angles saying, "Yes, let's do this. I want to put you in front of," but you got to be safe. Everybody who takes a camera picture, like I can pull my phone out right now, but if you don't know me, you're not going to trust me.
Right.
So I feel like with that show, it really shows like you have to be on top of your A games, all T's crossed and I's dotted. You have to be on your P's and Q's. So I feel like every model that I've come in contact with has all learned to be organized and very professional from that show. I don't know anybody who said they wanted to be a model who hasn't watched that show
Right.
because you can learn a lot, even though it's they don't play it anymore. You can learn a lot from the old shows.
Right. Right.
It's way better than the new ones. Just throwing that out there.
Even though you have been in this industry a short period of time, what do you feel needs to be brought to the forefront?
Individuality. I
Let's talk about that.
I feel
Okay.
like models want to be like one another. Every model wants to be the same person. I feel like everybody wants to follow an image. They feel like they have to be Kim Kardashian. They have to be, oh my God, I got to put my makeup on. I got to have a full face. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I will break your barriers. I am not that. I don't know. I don't know makeup. I'm the model who does not know anything about makeup. The most I know about is putting chapstick on, okay?
Chapstick.
That I'm telling you now, there's so much. Look, individuality. When a photographer likes to work with someone who that they can relate with, someone that they know that if they have an idea that completely just sporadically comes up, right? They want to work with a model who can captivate that, who can jump into the role and work with it, who can just take that idea and run with it. Some people, they're not like that. They want to be like, well, if she did it this way, let me do it that way. For what? Are you an individual or are you a flocky? Like you can be a follower, but remain in your own lane. Like you can grasp what other people are doing, like get their techniques, like how they pose and stuff, but make it your own. Make it your own. Stop trying to be like the other person.
Hmm.
You cannot make it in your own run. You cannot win your own race if you're trying to be somebody else. Just throwing it out there.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Um, I think when you are an individual, you are basically trying to promote your brand,
Hmm.
and your brand is what is going to be your stamp from then on.
You have to remain humble. When I say I want to try and push the boundaries and things,
Yes.
I still have to remain humble. Like I know there's still restrictions that I have to maintain and not go against because I know for sure I'm not going to be comfortable in it.
Right.
Yes, I want to try things to push my comfort level, but I know for sure there are things that I'm not. There's just no, we're not going to do it. It's an indefinite. And I feel like if you're able to like express yourself correctly, there should be no problem. There's not going to be any problems. You know where you're at. You know where you're going to get. You know how far you're going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you follow that, you're building yourself for success. But like you said, when you're building your brand and modeling stuff, right, you want to bring out everything in the forefront while still learning. You never put the pencil down. You always still take notes because everything is a lesson. You just have to know how to look at it. You can't take you can't have the good and then not have the bad. It doesn't make sense. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes. Yes. And I always tell people that you've got to stick to your guns about what you would do, because I say and I tell everyone, if you don't want something online, don't ever do it the first time, okay?
Right. See, there was a time when I was like, I'm gonna just do it, right? It was my very first nude photo shoot, and yeah, it's some risky stuff.
Yes.
You have to become very comfortable. And what I did was, it was a milk bath scene. It was for Mother's Day weekend,
Okay.
and my photographer, he could tell that I was nervous because we had talked about it. This is my first time doing it like this, but I want to push my boundaries. Like I want to see if I would even step into that, like to step into that modeling role.
Right. Right.
And like I said, with the research, I knew that he would help me get comfortable by teaching me, like, this is how you would do it. This is how you have to have your ambiance. You want to make sure your vibes are good. You want to make sure that the location is okay for yourself. Like, do what's in your bounds
Hmm.
while pushing them. Like, okay, so you're ready to model. Okay. You want to do a nude suit. Start with lingerie. Then slowly peel it off and see how comfortable you are.
Hmm.
Do like a turn shoot, like cover yourself, do something like that. But you're still pushing what you thought you could never do. Like, who would have thought I was going to be a lingerie model? I used to hate my body. But as I started, like, oh, well, if I turn this way, you can't really see too much, but I'll
Right.
see. And then that gets you comfortable to where you're like, okay, let's just get into the camera pose, just actually just jump in there.
Hmm.
It's just like that.
Now, one final question.
Okay.
I know we keep hounding on research, research, research.
Mhm.
Other than research, talking to other models, photographers, what would be your best advice that anyone come up to you? This is what you need to do.
You need to be professional. remain professional at all costs. Business over pleasure. You have to know that when you are stepping into a modeling role, it is an independent, like you're an independent contractor. It is you and only you.
Hmm.
Even though you have a manager, you can have an agency that you work with, be professional at all times because there's going to be eyes watching you. The modeling industry is world renowned. Everyone is looking at someone. And if you want to step into modeling, just I mean, research is important. You want to know your safety precautions
Right,
at all
right.
costs, but you want to remain professional because sometimes you let loose a little bit. You just gotta pull it in, like you said. You can't be a wild firecracker all the time. We have to have responsibilities. We have to mature because not everybody's going to relate to you in the way that you want. Sometimes you have to do things a little bit differently to get your message across.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Okay, so Michaela, in closing, thank you for being a guest on my podcast. For
Absolutely.
the photographers that want to reach you, how can they reach you?
You can follow me and like and add me on social media it's at STVW underscore Stewie.
I have enjoyed talking to you so very, very much.
Oh,
Thank you
thank you.
so very, very much. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Model Connection. I ask you again that you please like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. Follow us on social media at Model Connection Podcast. Thank you.